Hey, welcome back on playback, and we'll wait for some people to join. But it's good to be back. It has been too long since I have made a little YouTube appearance, and so I thought we could hang out today because I had a little bit of time. So I'm just gonna share this, and we're gonna let people pop on here, and we will hang out, and it's gonna be great. Paste there, I tweeted it. Three Amigos Gaming, what's up? Welcome. You're the first one. Alexia, hi, welcome back. It has been quite a bit. 7 people here already. Emmeline. That makes sense. That's how you pronounce it. Let me know in the chat. Welcome. I hope everybody's having a great day. This is my brand new computer. I had to get a new one because my old one broke. Yes, sort of. Not really. She can't pop on, but yes, she is. Three Amigos Gaming, remind me who you actually are, because I knew as soon as your name popped up that I knew you, but I couldn't remember. I can't remember what your actual name is. So sorry about that. Yeah, new computer. I am back in Philadelphia. So I'm no longer in Rhode Island. I'm back in Philly for a few months. And Jacob. Hi from Michigan. Hi, Deb. Welcome. Deborah, Deb, whichever one you want to go by. Delia, that's okay. Connie, that's welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Jacob from camp. I'm going to feel like a total idiot when I realize who Jacob from camp is. Because I know that I know you, and I'm just drawing a total blank. Hi, Flyish Fly. You got me on the name. Well done. Debbie. Okay, Debbie. I've always wanted to ask, and I never have, because I know that you and I talk on Patreon and everything. Hello back to Italy. St. Andrews, duh. Yes. Hi, Jacob. Sorry. Hi, welcome back. Judy, hey, welcome. Welcome to everybody. I just thought we could hang out, and if anybody has any questions you want to ask, we can do a Q&A. I know it has been, a month and a half since I posted, so I'm so sorry for just the delay and everything. It has been very, very busy. As Jacob knows, I did Pippin. I did the musical, and it was really, really great. But unfortunately, a number of us that were a part of the production, as much as we tried to avoid it, did come down with COVID right after. And not much you can do, but it does kind of eliminate your ability to do your job when you're an actor. So I was kind of sidelined, and I came down with it as I moved here. So it's been a couple weeks, and it's also been very busy, as some of my patrons know on Patreon. A lot of auditions. I've done more auditions in the past week than I ever have in a single week in my career. So it's good, lots of opportunities. But I was filming in Boston last week, and then I was in New York in the middle of the week, and I was supposed to be in LA right now, but that film got delayed until November. Which is sad, because it would have been great to go to LA, but at the same time, I am tired, so it wasn't bad to be able to stay here and relax a little bit. And yeah, big auditions, some Broadway tours, some movies, meetings for one of my scripts to maybe get that thing into production. So it's been a busy time, and of course, I'm writing on the side of all of that. And just as you guys know, all that stuff does have to come before YouTube, which doesn't mean I don't appreciate you. In fact, it makes me appreciate you more, because I was like, man, I miss the Sedgehogs. So, hi, Anna. Welcome. Miss Hedju, hi, welcome. And feel free, if you guys have videos that you want to see. I know Dimash has a new song. Hi, Monica. I know Dimash has a new song. So if there's anything you want to see, drop a comment. And again, when I have time, I will be doing reactions. I'm not giving up on that. I'm also going to be doing more scene analyses coming up and everything like that. I also have some collaboration videos planned with some other YouTubers that some of you might know, which should be really fun. But, new office, had to get this set up, had to move in, had to, fight COVID and get over that, and kind of a long cough that came after that. So I think I'm mostly over that. But it's been It's been a long couple of weeks. So, welcome. Thank you. Welcome back. I am on the mend. I am back. The COVID did do a bit of a number on me. I was very tired. So, I'm glad that that's kind of gone for the most part. Yeah, Stelia or Connie, I've been very busy. Is Hedju Excalibur by Jackson Wang? I have been wanting to get back to Jackson Wang. I really like him, so I will add that to the list. And yes, Judy, the good kind of busy. Pat, yes, welcome. Thank you, Flyish Kifly. It's been fun. Somebody asked me about the books, so I'll explain because I posted a photo of this. So I want to explain the book organization here. So I've got my top shelf. These are like my ultimate fantasy books. Like these are the best fantasy. So there's Harry Potter, Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, and then the two Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them and Quidditch Through the Ages, Lord of the Rings, obviously, the Aragon series, Hunger Games, which isn't technically fantasy, but whatever. This is just like books that I love. And then the Kingkiller Chronicles, which is not the most popular book series on the planet, but I love them. It's probably my favorite fantasy series. Second shelf, still very high tier fantasy books. Except I haven't read these two yet. The Cabinet by Unsoo Kim and the Kaiju Preservation Society. I just got those, so I'm excited to read them. Narnia, Stormlight Archive, Game of Thrones, Thessaly Trilogy, which I really liked, Percy Jackson, Dune, and then I have the BTS notes right there. So that one's fun. And then I have Ursula K. Le Guin's Earthsea Trilogy, or the first four books of the Earthsea. And then I've got my theater. So these are all Shakespeare texts, Shakespeare plays, acting technique, screenwriting technique. Underneath that's like classic literature, same as the bottom shelf, and then kind of fantasy spillover. So it's kind of organized by all that. And these are two of the, I think, 7 bookshelves in this apartment. And we actually have books in storage because we didn't have enough bookshelves. So, and I'm not going to stop buying books. So, oops. Boncha, good question. I did post like a 30-second clip from Rehearsal Corner of this guy, but I probably will just do like a cover of it and post it. I do have a couple of duets planned, a couple more covers planned with some people that are all very busy. It's with a lot of working actors who are brilliantly talented, and I'm hoping to be able to share those soon. Got some Anastasia, some Greatest Showman, and who knows what else. So that's been very, very fun. Jackson Wang's latest music videos, Blow and Cruel. Okay, I will have to check those out. And yes, Connie, it has been very, very good. It's been tiring, and you know what it does though? It makes me appreciate YouTube more, because when I do have time to like do this, I've found that I've gotten better at it, because every time I'm on a set, every time I'm doing anything, I'm learning and getting better at my craft. And so I think the analyses improve as a result of that, if that makes sense. Ms. Hedju, which character of Shakespeare would I like to play? All of them, but the dream is Henry V. I would just it's Henry V. Once more to the breach, dear friends, once more. But what I would want to do is do Henry IV parts 1 and 2, and then Henry V, which almost requires you to do, was it Richard III would come right before that with the, I always get Richard II and Richard III mixed up, but Richard II with the Let's Talk of Graves and Worms and Epitaphs, which of course I wouldn't be in that situation because I'd be playing Henry IV. But I would also like to see a rotating cast where whoever plays Richard then plays Hotspur in Henry IV parts 1, and so just like rotating the cast so that enemies become friends, become enemies, and I think that there's some cool narrative threads that can be interwoven there that excite me. So I have not gotten to do as much Shakespeare as I would prefer, but that's just sort of the way that the way that things have worked out. I've been lucky to do what I do, but I would like to do Shakespeare, but I just think it's worth studying. And I think as someone who loves reading and then also like is an actor, like you have to know Shakespeare. Like it's like a requirement. Like you have to know Shakespeare. Feel free to toss more questions, and I know people have messaged me with certain questions about films or about technique or anything like that. So feel free to throw them my way. There may be certain questions because I know some people have asked me certain things about things I'm working on. I might have to respectfully demur because there may be questions that I'm not able to, things I'm not able to discuss at the present moment. But it's exciting, and some of my patrons know the stuff that isn't super public and things that I'm working on. So that's a little plug for Patreon if you want to hop on over there. But yeah, I really want to do some Shakespeare, and that is something. If I do end up in New York, I know a lot of really good actors there that maybe we'll try to pull off some underground Shakespeare work to happen. Would be a lot of fun. And if you guys have any questions about the new office setup, that would be something that I can't answer because I was pretty specific about this whole thing. Which comedian did you amaze you playing Shakespeare? You mean like which one of my favorite comedies? Because I really like Much Ado About Nothing. Like loved it, and that was because my friend Megan was what's the name of the character? I can't remember the character's name, but my friend Megan was one of the like really funny roles in it, and she was just so good. Connie, your physics brain is completely lost in the Shakespeare discussion. That is fair. My brain would be lost in the physics discussion. I will say that one of the hardest classes I took in college was a class called The Science of Physics in Acoustic and the Science of Physics in Acoustics and Music, and it was fascinating, and it is something that I use for every single performance, is studying the acoustics of a space, and whether I'm the sound mixer or directing or acting, whatever it is, knowing where should the mic be placed, where should et cetera, et cetera. So I do use physics, I just don't understand them. I would love to do a song with Leah Salonga. I know somebody who has done a few covers. If Leah Salonga would be willing to give me the time of day, I would give her anything she wanted because she's masterful. Debbie, no, I haven't read Pillars of the Earth. I'll have to put that on my list. I have a very, very, very long list of books to read. As some of you may remember, I got 43 books for Christmas, and I'm through probably 30 of them. I just finished book 3 of the Wheel of Time, which I'm really enjoying. And then I switched to something very different because I just kind of wanted to step back from that world for a sec. And so I switched to, I might have it in this bag. Yep. To Hanya Yanagihara's A Little Life, which was a gift to me from Michael Prince, who was in Pippin with me. And I've been warned that this book will destroy me. And I'm like this far in, which isn't super far. And I've read enough books to know that pain is on the way. I know it's going to hurt me. And I just have to accept that. I just have to accept that that I'm going to suffer. That's okay. Pillars of the Earth. Okay. So that's all I need to know is right there. Now I know I need to read those. I assume it's a series, maybe, because I do love a series. I think it's really sad when I read a book and I love it, and then there's like, oh, this is the only one. And I'm like, I wanted more of that world, but then what? You read 14 books of a world, and then that's over. So what are you going to do? Feel free to toss out some more questions or just whatever you need. That's a book there. I love long books. Yes. Yeah, I love long books. Pillar is long and the best you've ever read. Big claim. That's exciting. I'll have to check that out because I really liked the Stormlight Archive. There's 4 books out right now, and then there's also a novella which is out, and I think he's planning 12 books total, 10 like novels, and then 2 novellas, and they're all like that long, and so that's wild. I hope Patrick Rothfuss finishes the Kingkiller Chronicles. I also really liked. I read the Game of Thrones prequel before the series started, and really, really liked it, and loved the first episode of the show. So I'm big on. Oh, this is a fun one. I've never really talked about it, but the Thessaly trilogy. If you're into fantasy and you like philosophy at all, the Thessaly trilogy by Joe Walton gets into trying to build Plato's Republic as an actualized city. and Athena and Apollo tried out, and it's just a fascinating concept, and I really liked it. It was very different than anything I've ever read. Where is Paddington? That is a good question. Hi, Corey. Hi. I'm just live hanging out. There will be reactions coming soon. I just figured it has been too long, and I was going to go on a hike today, but I can feel that my body's a little bit too tired maybe to do that. So I thought, let me pop on here and hang out with people for a little bit. Oh, Debbie, thank you so much. Gosh. Well, that's very kind of you. Thank you for that donation. Debbie is just one of those people that is so supportive, like sending me messages on Patreon to just like check in on me and stuff, and it's just so nice. Hi, Fern. Welcome back. See, this is why this is I miss this. I miss being able to just like see the names. Miss Hedju, back to your question. There's there's a few of the Paddingtons up here. So we've got Paddington 1, 2, 3, plus Jigglypuff, Grogu. My dad found this minion in a park and gave it to me as a gift. So he's up here. And then I've got my Star Wars bobbleheads, and then this the TIE fighter that I put together on a live once, and then Pikachu right in the middle. And then I've got Black Panther, the Flash, pictures of family. I have some props. I don't know if I ever showed these, but these are props from when I played Robert Kennedy. So I had a Robert Kennedy for President button I got to keep, and then he famously wore this tie clip, which was a Kennedy 1960 for his brother's campaign, and so I got to keep that, and a 1968 50-cent coin with JFK's face on it, which I always had in my pocket when I was playing Robert. So I like to keep little trinkets and everything. I've got the Beast from when I played the Beast, and I always try to keep like a small prop from things if I can. I got these beads up here on the light. Those are from Pippin. So, Monica, welcome. Hi. I hope your dinner is delicious. I had a salad, which was fine. It was literally just like vegetables in it. It was tasty, but I'm looking forward to dinner. I think I'm gonna do pasta. Pillars was the first, Fallout then wrote a sequel and a prequel. No characters are the same. Oh, I love that. Ancestors and Descendants. I love when sequels like jump around timelines and bring in different generations. Tamara, is it Tamara or Tamara? Let me know. I know you can't talk specifics on current projects. Correct. Can you say what type of project, what challenges are you looking forward to? That is a very good question. I haven't heard back from the Broadway tour. So we'll see about that. There's several theater shows that I'm up for, all of them presenting different challenges. The tour would be like a 6-month contract, which would be a challenge in and of itself, and just going around the country. But as far as projects that I'm writing, I'm able to say that they all fall within the horror genre, which isn't like the genre that I naturally find myself. Tamara. Okay. It doesn't, like, horror isn't the genre that I myself am drawn to, and yet I've found it's where my stories go, and not like jump scares or slasher films, but more like sort of existential, I guess, maybe more dealing with like dread and hope and the juxtaposition of those. So that's just sort of where I've ended up lately. But there's some other projects. I've got a sci-fi series, post-apocalyptic sci-fi series that I'm working on as a writer, and then a horror that deals with having cancer as a young adult, which is obviously very near and dear to my heart, and is important to me to write that. I've got one that is going to be a modern day retelling of the Esther narrative in the Old Testament. So that I'm really excited about that, and a couple others that are just kind of bubbling and brewing. I really want to write a sports film, so I'm trying to kind of figure out what the plot to like a football film would be. So there's a number of those, and then just like films left and right. I'm up for films between now and like March of next year, and we're just kind of in varying stages of negotiations and XYZ. And the films that I'm trying to make, there's one that we're feeling pretty good about. Yeah, Connie, I'm not, I respect gore horror, and I've done it, and it's kind of fun to act in those, but I'm a lot more into the psychological and suspense based horror. That's just kind of my thing. Like I love The Conjuring. I also loved A Ghost Story. Just those kinds of sort of ethereal horrors. Hi, Janine. Welcome. Hi, Kristen. Welcome. Uh, Hi, Pep. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of scripts that I'm working on, and they're all really exciting for different reasons, and that's thrilling. And there's also people that I know that are working on things that I'm kind of tangentially helping with, and that's also really like just really cool to see. And again, Debbie, thank you for the donation. That's so kind of you, and just a reminder that it's just good to be back. Like all of you, and I want to also say thank you to all of you just for your support, whether it's my patrons on Patreon, financially supporting me, but also like all of you just being understanding with me being gone and allowing me to put that work first, and knowing that we all love what we have here, and because we all kind of treat it as something we can do that's fun and educational and hang out, but I just feel like it's well placed and that we all understand, and that's what I love about like this group that we have, and I'm really grateful for that, and it's exciting to have all the things that are coming up, and I'm excited to get to share those things with you when they happen. But there's another script that I have done that we have some actors attached to that we're just trying to find the money for, which is that's the toughest part. But that's a story that's really near and dear to my heart, and like I know it's going to be good. It's just finding the right people to partner with it to get it made is the challenge, and it's going to take as long as it takes. I know when we get to make that it's going to have a good impact on people. That one's kind of a drama with touches of thriller in it, but kind of dramatizing my experience with mental health and with religion, and the way that religion can heal and the way that it can hurt. And I'm excited to dig deeper into that when we're able to find the right people to partner with us financially on how to make it. But I always try to have a lot of pots on the stove and make sure none of them are boiling over or burning. The proper number that I can stir, and that way, if something kind of hits a wall, I can pivot to something else, and maybe that'll spark inspiration. Which there's certain things on this next one that we think we're going to be making next. Hopefully, there's at least one or two shots that I'm straight up stealing from BTS and some of their music videos. So that's I'm really excited about that, and to see where that goes. Said he'd take pictures of his office before he moves to Cedric and put it back together. That's fair. This one was tough because we didn't know what the apartment was going to look like, and so we kind of had to figure out which one. And then the day after we moved here is when I tested positive for COVID, and so it was like, okay, I guess this is my room because now I'm going to be sleeping in there. So I got the office put together pretty quick, and then have just made some minor adjustments because I was in here. So it's convenient, and it's a nice audition space. Like I have room to shoot my auditions, dancing, everything. Debbie, thank you. I really try to keep them entertaining, but also educational, and really just, it feels nice for me because I have studied a lot of different disciplines, jack of all trades, master of none, but that's better than, a master of one. And so it's nice to be able to stretch those muscles and engage with meaningful media and be able to create meaningful discussions throughout it. Hi, Isaiah. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. I hope again, feel free to keep throwing questions out here, or I can just keep ranting about whatever comes to mind. That's also a strong option. So it's been good. I went to the Phillies game on Tuesday, which was fun. It was the Reds game, and then the Reds lost, so it became the Phillies game. Namjoon's list of books to read. I think I was aware that he had one, but I haven't looked at it. I did just have. Do I have that in here? I have to. I just had an interesting discussion about Demian, which of course I only read because of BTS. When I was working on a film in Boston, I had a discussion about it. Yeah, there it is. Herman Hesse Demian. I talk about BTS a lot, BTS and Dimash in particular. Although I legitimately have enjoyed every artist that I've reacted to. Um, I have referenced BTS on many a film set, many a set. And this one in particular, there were people on the crew that I've worked with before, and so they were like, as soon as I got there, they were like, "Oh, he's going to talk about BTS," and then I did, and then they admitted that they like BTS. So checkmate. So that's always a good win. That's a big win. I actually finally framed my Kadia poster. Decided I didn't want to keep taping that up. It's a good move, and I have big hopes for Joe Burrow. Today's the final preseason game for the Bengals, so we made it to a new season. Oh, I want to show you this. This is, I, Kristen. I'm sorry. I was only there for filming. This is something I bought from. I was at a coffee shop when I was doing Pippin, and there was a girl there that was selling her art. And so I bought this from her, and it's 2 donuts on a plate, and it says "Donut have bad vibes," and I think it's hilarious. So I bought it, and I feel no shame about that. I say, have I ever watched Star Wars? May I point you to my Attack of the Clones poster, or my The Force Awakens poster in Korean, or my Star Wars The Last Jedi poster, or my Baby Yoda, or my 3 Star Wars bobbleheads, or my 2 lightsabers, or my TIE Fighter? I love Star Wars so much. So much. I cried, I think, 2 times, maybe 3 times during the Kenobi finale. I love Star Wars. I love it so very much. Hi, Beth. Welcome. Hi, Silvana. Welcome. Always appreciate your support. Monica, there are new Dimash reactions coming. I promise. They are coming. I'm finally at a point where I think I can get some time to shoot some reactions and some analyses and some other stuff that I'm excited for. Pop, yes, I heard the new song. I've heard it's really good, so that's all I know about it. I don't know anything else. Watch, that's interesting. I didn't listen to 90s boy band music when I was like a boy in the 90s. But you can't not hear it. And so I won't say that I love it, but there is a nostalgia factor that I really enjoy. Like when I hear "I Want It That Way" or "Bye Bye Bye," like it's not music that I would intentionally go and listen to, but when it's on, like I'm not gonna change the station. If I'm at a wedding and it comes on, like your boy's dancing. You know what I mean? Like it's just catchy music, and that's what it's written to be. So, oh, Debbie, you've got to see Star Wars. They're so good. Here's my thing about Star Wars, and I've discussed this before. You have got to watch Star Wars while acknowledging that they're movies about space wizards with glow sticks, and they're goofy, and they're fun, and they're meant to be that. And if you don't take them too seriously, the important things, the allegory for imperialism and for the Vietnam War, and about the insidious nature of politics and of people in politics, and of the war profiteering machines, those things shine if you don't take it too seriously. If you accept that the Ewoks are there for the kids and that Yoda is a very funny character and that it's all goofy, and of course there's plot holes, and yes, there's fire in space because these aren't science fiction, they're space opera westerns that are meant to be goofy and meant to be adventures and meant to feel like this kind of comic book-esque let's have a good time. And that's the way it works. You do not acknowledge the existence of certain Star Wars movies. If one of those movies has a poster on my wall, then I'm afraid we have reached a disagreement, and I will win this argument. So that's my stance on Star Wars. I just love it. I love it. There are certain that aren't my favorite, but I still love them because they meant a lot to me at a very important time in my life, and they still mean a lot to me. And they were there when I needed them to be there, and they said what I needed them to say. And yeah, Kristen, the original Star Wars films in particular were coming out, in the 70s and 80s, and very much an allegory for imperialism in the Vietnam War. George Lucas actually explicitly talked about it in the Light and Magic docu-series. Ooh, so sorry. In the Light and Magic docu-series on Disney Plus, but it's all very much there. This guerrilla fighters going against, invading forces, and there were initial drafts where the stormtroopers were a little bit more humanized, and you saw that they weren't necessarily bad people. They were just sort of there. And I think that that was good, and that's what The Last Jedi kind of took. They took that from drafts of the original trilogies, because with Finn being a former stormtrooper, kind of getting into, each side is going to be doing things that are immoral. And I think that those things are really important to have. Sorry, I missed some comments here. I went on a Star Wars rant. Yeah, Debbie, Lord of the Rings, so good. So I think that is the perfect movie trilogy. The third one, top 10 film ever made. Mirel, hello back to Romania. Isaiah, my favorite actor, still with Star Wars, Ewan McGregor. Ewan McGregor, initially, it was when I saw Revenge of the Sith was the first Star Wars movie I saw in theaters. And I was just so impressed by his performance. And after that, fell in love with Moulin Rouge and The Impossible and Big Fish. And he's so good in everything. And he is an actor that I've tried to model my own career after, and my own performance technique and strategies after. Oh, that's cool, Isaiah, watching it with your sisters. I watched them initially with my dad, and now I just watch them with whoever wants to go with me. Monica, that's fair. Reading the books in the original English, it is very hard to read them when you're fluent in English. I appreciate descriptive language, but like Tolkien does spend entire pages describing like a tree, and that can be a lot. But I do love them. I love the stories. I love the films. Perfectly cast, beautifully shot, so good. And Kristen, that's the thing. Kristen, you're hitting a nail on the head as far as not necessarily knowing that the allegory is there, but then it seems obvious. It's sort of like Narnia. I remember when someone explained to me that Narnia was an allegory for like the Gospels, then it seemed obvious. But I also just loved these kids in a fantasy world with a talking lion. Like all of those things can be true and are true. Flair, hi Flair. Hi, I missed you. I got so excited. Flair is one of the best YouTubers on YouTube. Huge fan. I loved when we did our video together, and I love watching your videos. And I have cried watching Flair's reactions to things, because Flair is a unique and exceptional and empathetic human being. And you should go subscribe to Flair right now. You should, because Flair is awesome. The Cimmerillion is on my Christmas list this year, the Cimmerillion, and it's gonna be a challenge. But I think the world's cool, and I'm excited for Rings of Power, the new series that's coming out. I'm excited to see that. Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings at the same time. Cannot wait for that. I wish I had seen. Anyway, Kristen, what I was saying is Star Wars rocks because you can watch it and enjoy it. And then you can watch it academically and look for the allegories, and they are there and they're brilliant. And then if you want, you can turn that part of your brain off and just watch it and enjoy it again. And that's, to me, like that's the kind of media that I really, really love. Is it's entertaining on its face, but it also really clings to deep truths. And I love that. And entertaining can take different ways. One of my favorite films of last year, Drive My Car, a 3-hour Japanese film that was not funny and no big explosions and et cetera, but so utterly compelling. I love it. Anyway, Isaiah, I wish I had a dog. I wish. I travel too much. I'm gone for months at a time. I just can't. I'll leave to go shoot a film or go to a musical or whatever, and that's just, it's not fair to a dog for me to be gone and then home for a week and then gone and then home for 2 days and then gone and then home for a month. And it's just not quite sustainable. So maybe someday when a little bit more money's flowing and schedule is a little bit more consistent, or I'm an A-lister and I can just be like, yo, I'm coming to shoot Dune Part 8 and I'm bringing my dog to Tunisia. And they have to be like, yeah, fair enough. Okay, Debbie, you've seen the first Hobbit movie. Okay, interesting. So I enjoy the Hobbit movies. There are people who don't. I like them. You will see a clear difference with the original trilogies or with the original trilogy as far as the practical effects versus the CGI. it was just a time where there was a lot of CGI, and Peter Jackson kind of came in late in the process, and so they are good. They're particularly well acted. I think the writing is good, and I think the effects are good. It's just the original trilogy. The practical effects are so perfectly handled, and it's made with so much deep and driving intention that it just works to an extraordinary degree. Yes, the whole "Far over the misty mountains, Cole." I can't sing that low. I'm a tenor. Makes me sad. He's got a great voice. Miss Hedry, you did watch Drive My Car. I saw it in theaters. I loved it. I also loved The Worst Person in the World. Um, what's the other? I watched another one of the international features that year. The Italian Submission. Uh, Hand of God. Is that what it's called? The Hand of God. Really like that. Really, I mean, just there's so many good movies right now. There's so many good movies. I just saw Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. Highly recommend. Highly recommend Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. It is so good. Also, it's the year of Jenny Slate because Everything Everywhere All at Once is the best film I've ever seen. I feel confident saying that. I saw it twice. Caroline, welcome. I'm sorry that you can't stay super long. I'm sorry I didn't acknowledge you when you first commented. Yes, I will leave it up. So you're welcome to pop on and watch it in replay. But thank you for stopping in. Which one is the best as far as Lord of the Rings? Return of the King, the final one, is just it's one of the best films ever made, along with Everything Everywhere All at Once. And you saw that movie twice, Blair. I have a feeling people are going to want me to do reactions, which like I don't do reactions to movies because it's just the time commitment. But I'm so glad I saw it in the theater. Like just the full experience of seeing it. I saw Top Gun Maverick, and the cinematography was outstanding, and the sound design was exceptional. Yes, Flyish Kifly. Everything Ever All at Once is one of those movies where you have a before and after, as far as like you view movies differently after that film. It is just so good. Like it's up there with Shawshank and some of those other movies. Cinema Paradiso. It is on my list. I've been watching some older films lately, as far as like just films that I like haven't gotten around to seeing. And when I had COVID, especially, I just had time, so I watched like Taxi Driver. What else did I watch recently? Chinatown, Dirty Harry. Just like some of those classic films that I wanted to see and that aren't necessarily films that I would seek out, and have enjoyed all of them, which is why they're successful. I have seen Spider-Man: No Way Home, Isaiah. I really liked it. It's my second favorite Marvel film behind Eternals. I love Spider-Man. Like Spider-Man's my favorite superhero outside of Superman. So, Kristen, I saw The Secrets of Dumbledore in theaters. I really liked it. I still think that those movies are doing something really cool with that universe and just kind of expanding it in some cool ways. And I hope that they do get to keep making them because, I just like I love that world. Like I grew up waving a stick in the backyard and pretending I was at Hogwarts. And I've got all the Harry Potter books right there, so I do enjoy those quite a bit. Alexia, Return of the King is so good. I wish I could have seen it in theaters. I wish. I remember when the first time I wanted to watch Lord of the Rings. I've got a Return of the King poster right there. I know sometimes you can't see my reactions because the light hits the frame weird, but the first time I tried to watch them, I was like halfway through the first one, and I had accidentally watched the extended edition, and so I was like way far into it, and I was like, "How much longer is this movie?" And so I went to pause it, and I was like, "Oh, there's still 2.5 hours left." Like it was so long, but they were so good. Maybe someday I'll watch all of the extended cuts. Miss Hedge, I've heard that about The Sandman. I haven't gotten around to watching it. I'm catching up on Westworld. Been watching a lot of films. Obviously, I've been watching Only Murders in the Building because it is so good, so good. What else have I been watching? A League of Their Own, which I love. I love A League of Their Own. I need to catch up on What We Do in the Shadows. That's the next thing. And then I think The Sandman's going to be on the list. Yeah, I think that that's a fair feeling about Secrets of Dumbledore. I guess that's also my perspective on most movies. But yeah, it did feel like a bit of a plot device, and I still thought it was handled well. I really like David Yates as a director, and I love what he does with the camera. It was a big influence on me. And if you watch Kadia, you will see that there are things that I just like the roving Steadicam is something that I have taken from David Yates of just the way that he moves the camera. Him and Alfonso Cuarón, who did the third Harry Potter film, just really nice use of camera movement and intentional camera movement. And Cuarón then he made Roma, which is completely different and a wonderful example of a filmmaker serving a story rather than making the story fit their style. Um, yes, Flyers Could Fly. I love Only Murders. I actually thought season two was better than season one, and I can't wait for season three. I love it so much. Alexia, I had never seen the movie, so this show is the first time that I've been exposed to like the whole plot, and it's such a perfect cast. Like the cast is so good and so committed, and it's so well told with the balancing of quite serious issues that need to be talked about, and that I'm glad are being represented in media without apology, but then also really well done in comedy. Um, I usually prefer Marvel to DC, but Sam. Oh, is Sandman DC? I didn't know that. Well, now I'll have to definitely check it out. I like superheroes. I like them, and maybe that's something. I think I've talked about this before in YouTube videos, but this whole I don't know if you guys remember this, but Scorsese made a comment about how Marvel films are amusement park rides, and he's right. First of all, he's Martin Scorsese. He's probably right about film, but I think it was really out of context. Like he's not insulting them. I like Marvel films. I saw Thor: Love and Thunder in theaters. I saw Spider-Man: No Way Home in theaters. Eternals is a really good movie. Like I like Marvel films a lot. I love them. But I struggle with putting them in the same category as, for example, A Ghost Story or Drive My Car or The Worst Person in the World or even Dune, in that they're made with different intentions. Marvel films are made to entertain, and sometimes they also really want to show you a deeper truth. And that's not only perfectly good, but like it's needed. Like we need things to distract you. We need to be distracted from what is happening and to take our brains away from that for 2.5 hours and get really excited about Captain America having a beard now. Like I love them for that. And I love going to see them, and I love the laughter, and I love the shock and awe moments, and gasping at certain moments. And that's their purpose, and they're great. And because they execute that well, a lot of the heartfelt moments, like again, I don't want to issue spoilers here, but certain moments of Spider-Man: No Way Home um, were earned, and they made me tear up and get choked up because they did a really good job building out the characters. And so I think that those quotes have been taken out of context because all of these things are important. Only Murders in the Building is there to entertain. What We Do in the Shadows is there to entertain. A League of Their Own is meant to drive with a little bit more heart than just pure entertainment. And like all of those things are good. Squid Games, or Squid Game, singular, Squid Game, meant to entertain, but really drives at a deeper truth that is very blunt and very obvious in the show. And I think that that is like all of those things are good, and I try to balance all of them. Monica, thank you so much for joining. You will see a new reaction soon to Dimash. I can't wait to do it. Thank you so much for being here. Tamara, yes, we just need a vacation sometimes from everything that is going on. Like especially these last 2 years, especially, starting the channel, you guys have kind of seen me go through this, but it has been a really hard few years. Like there was a pandemic, and at least here in America, there have been a lot of things going on domestically that are maybe not ideal. And like it's just important to be able to escape a little bit. And so while I love doing things like when I did Kennedy Bobby's Last Crusade, I loved doing it, and it really like dug deep into some truths of. Bye, Flair. Thank you so much for being here. It's so good to see your name pop up. And bye again, Monica. Um, I think that it's really important to do the things that do drive a deeper truth. Sunset Boulevard, Kennedy, like those two shows, doing them, and to an extent, Pippin. But also like Pippin is really, as much as I did try to put some heart into it and really like make Pippin relatable, especially in 2022. It's also just entertaining, and it's okay to do something that is just there to make some people laugh, and like that's needed too. And so, like, if we take everything and say like this has to be serious, we lose that. Sometimes Shakespeare wrote really dumb jokes, like just really dumb jokes that are just there to make you laugh, and like that's okay. Like it's okay to just be entertained. Like I love The Conjuring. It's great. They're really deep stuff. That doesn't mean that, Friday the 13th aren't perfectly valid films because they're slasher and people are entertained by that. They're not my thing, but I've definitely said this before on a video. I don't care for mushrooms. I don't like mushrooms. That does not make mushrooms a bad food. They just aren't for me. So I just don't eat them. I don't complain when other people eat them and enjoy them. I don't yuck someone else's yum. Somebody else likes mushrooms? Great. They can have mine. Oh my gosh, please have mine. You like them? That's amazing. Oh, wow. You don't like butter chicken? Oh, I like butter chicken. Can I have your butter chicken? You can have my mushroom dish. I'll have your butter chicken. We'll just trade off, and then I'll enjoy it. And then we don't have to complain about anything because we didn't consume something that we don't like by choice. Just saying. Yeah, I really liked Good Omens. I love the book. Really enjoyed this show. I'm intrigued to see what they do with season 2. Yes, Flesh can fly. You can tell that I ate just like plain salad without even like dressing on it for lunch, because now I'm thinking about tacos. I want a taco. I had a burrito last night. It was really good. Rob, what's up? Robert Dukes. Here's my story. Before I started this live, I was tired, and so I thought, let me relax. And so my wife and I decided to play some Fortnite, and then Rob was on, and Rob and I are friends. And so I messaged Rob, and I was like, "Yo, you're on Fortnite," and we played with Rob's brother, and we played for a while, and it was very fun. Rob is great. Some of you have seen Rob before on this channel. We did a live acting talk back with Rob and his wife Ashlyn and my friend Rich, and it was really, really great. Isaiah, have fun watching Flamingo. Are you watching actual flamingos? Or is that a TV show or a movie? Flesh can fly blueberry pancakes. For breakfast I had an apple and a banana and 2 oranges, and then I had a cherry hibiscus scone that I bought at the farmer's market, and it was delicious. And then I played Fortnite with Rob. Rob is awesome. You all should go follow him on social media. He's just really, really great. Very talented actor. Very nice human. As is his wife Ashlyn. They're just really great. So you should hang out with them, and hopefully we'll be hanging out soon in London, or if you guys want to come to the US, and we'll make a little something with a little camera, and it'll be a good time. But Rob's great. So thanks for hanging out. He's at the gym. I need to go to the gym. I need to get a key to the gym that is, I think, directly below where I'm sitting right now in my new apartment building here in Philadelphia, because I'm back in Philly, and I'm not in LA like I was supposed to be right now. So my week next week is sadly suddenly much more free than it was before, but that's the way it goes. These things happen. Rob, I will stop. Love how quick you decorated, man. Well, Rob knows because I had COVID when we first moved here, and so Rob was like, "Oh, if you want to like hang out and like play Fortnite together," because I was like here by myself and couldn't go anywhere. So we played like 3 hours of Fortnite or something, like 2.5 hours. And I told them that I decorated because I had nothing else to do. Like I just, and I don't like boxes or like disorganization or like clutter. Like it stresses me out, and it's not a creative space for me, etc. So even though this may feel like clutter, it's all very intentional as far as where I put things. So I got everything up pretty quick. And it's a nice space. It's a creative space for me. And I wish that this window like faced a yard, but it just faces the parking lot. So at least I can see if, I can make sure my car's there, and I can look at the Wawa across the street. That's exciting. Love Wawa. Huge Wawa guy. So it's nice. It's nice to have it here, and the building has good air conditioning. and I'm excited. I'm excited to be back and close to New York. I'll be in New York next weekend to celebrate my birthday. I'm gonna go up there. Did I freeze? I froze for me. I don't know if I froze for you, but it's my birthday next week, so I'm gonna go up to New York and celebrate with some friends. I think because my family's in Ohio, and it's gonna be a bit hard to get home. Hey, I do have a big thing to say to the people that are here. If you're anywhere near Cleveland, Ohio, the Coroner's Assistant, a series that I am the lead in, I play the Coroner's Assistant, is having its premiere on Tuesday, September 13th. So you can go check that out, and you can hear me do a British accent, and you can message Rob and say, hey, he's terrible. You should coach him on that. And it's all going to be very exciting. We worked really hard on this series, and it's just a great team of creatives. It's a female-led team, which sadly is not very common in this industry. So it was really cool to work with them on that, and I'm just really excited to see it and see what they did with it. Worked really hard in tough conditions, over the summer in old buildings because it had to be period specific. It's a Victorian era British murder mystery comedy series. So I'm really excited to see what they did with that. And you can come and you can meet me and you can meet the filmmakers. Tickets I think are $10, $12, somewhere in that range. And they are available for purchase. So if you Google Coroner's Assistant Premiere Cleveland, Ohio, it should pop up and you can get a ticket and you can come hang out. And I think they're doing some after parties at some local taverns. And there is a drink named after my character, James Rigby. There's a tavern that has the James Rigby drink. So you can go and you can have that. And that should be really fun. And I'll be there. And it's going to be fun to hang out. So just wanted to throw that out there, plug it. Yeah, I think I'll probably pop off here at about the hour mark. So if anybody has any other questions, feel free to toss them out here. If you want to ask, like, Cedric, why are you so much better at Fortnite than Rob? Like, that's a good question to ask. Cedric, are the Bengals going to lose any games this year? No, they're going to go undefeated. So far, so good. Cedric, what's your favorite Pokemon? Mudkip. Easy. So there, I just answered 3 questions. And now I'm thinking about blueberry pancakes. So thanks for that, Flash Defy. I appreciate that. Or if you have any questions about my books, because that's been pretty popular. Who knows? You should also know that Rob and I have had many hours of discussions on Star Wars since that came up earlier. Rob, you just missed the Star Wars conversation. We have had many, many, many hours of Star Wars dialogue. Yes, Rob, Mudkip, what's your question? I once beat the Pokemon League with 6 level 100 Mudkip. Get on my level. Said what I said. God tier starter. So good. I need to get a Mudkip. I have Jigglypuff up there. I don't know if you can really see her, but Jigglypuff's right there. And then obviously my Pikachu. Rob, what do you mean no? Mudkip is so good. Mudkip is the best starter. Are you trying to fight right now? Oh my gosh. I'm not going to London anymore. I'm not going to hang out with you. This is what, look how the Sedgehogs are loyal to me. I will set them upon you if you dare insult Mudkip. I need some Sedgehogs to back me up. I need backup here. Anybody. Oh yeah. Now Rob's got to defend himself in the chat. No, it was good. It's all stuff. Mudkip is a Pokemon. Here, I'll look up a picture. Rob and I have had many conversations along the same lines that we said here. Just like they're good if you take them in the proper context. Here, this is Mudkip. Look how cute this Pokemon is. Look how cute. So good. Don't know what you were talking about, but I'm here for you. Thank you, Tamara. Thank you, Judy. Very cute. Jasper, welcome from Germany. I'm glad you're here. Rob, I'm sorry I told people to attack you. I didn't mean it. But also they didn't, so they're on your side now. I will never forget when we did that live and people just started saying that they liked you and Ashlyn more than me, which was totally fair. I like you guys a lot too. You guys are great. Rob and Ashlyn are both in a really good movie called Lair, which you should watch. It's a wonderful horror film. We were talking about horror films earlier, so they are really really good. You should go watch it. They are just great in it. Most of them are very. Most of us are still pro Rob. That's, I've made a terrible mistake. That's so funny. But yes, you should go watch Lair. It's a film by Adam Ethan Crow, and we really enjoyed it. There's some superb cinematography and really great special effects. I have this picture of BTS going burr. I know it's shots fired burr. I have no idea. Fair. I don't know anything about Pokemon. Just watch the first episode. I've never seen Naruto. I've never seen it, but I know people were trying to like Naruto run into Area 51 last year, and I wanted to see if it would work. I did not go. I chose to not go, but I was deeply entertained by it. Sometimes that's just what happens. Hey, as this is winding down, we've got about 4 minutes left before I pop off here. If you do have any recommendations, I know we said Jackson Wang. I'm gonna do a new uh, Morissette, Dimash, BTS. But if you guys have any other recommendations, please pop them in the chat, and I will add those to my list of who I'm going to go through. There's some other things that I'm going to be doing. I'm going to do a breakdown, like I did with Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back. I'm going to do one for, for example, Harry Potter, and just breaking down a scene from that, breaking down a scene from Stranger Things, Everything Everywhere All at Once, just like media that I have enjoyed and learned from, and that I'm hoping I can maybe explain the anatomy of a scene to you to help you understand why it's pushing you in a certain direction or making you feel a certain way, whatever that is. Debbie, thank you so much, and thank you again for your support. As always, you're so great. I appreciate all of my patrons so much. You're all really wonderful. Rob, there was a really good one. We broke down the Han being frozen in carbonite from Empire Strikes Back, which I know you and I have talked about that scene explicitly. So I should have reached out to you about that. But it's fun. It's fun, and just breaking it down. Maybe I'll have Rob on for one sometime, and we'll break down a scene together. So Connie, thank you so much for popping on. Thank you for being here. Debbie, I'll do a Harry Potter scene. There's several to choose from because there's some brilliantly shot scenes in that series. Yes, J-Hope's Arson. I heard about this. I really liked more. It was not what I was expecting from him. I liked kind of the addition of punk rock into the sound of the whole thing. So yeah, Rob, maybe we'll pick a scene from Star Wars and we'll analyze it together. Either the original trilogy or just, we'll message and we'll figure it out. We'll find a good scene that we both maybe scenes we have different perspectives on too. Like I think it's done this way for this reason, or you think this. That would be really, really fun. I didn't see Hobie Palooza. I missed that. So maybe I'll watch something from that because I heard he rocked it. I heard it was so good. So maybe we'll do a section of it because an hour would be really, really long. Judy, thank you for being here. Thank you for coming on. Hi. My wife just came in and made a face at me. Watch the whole thing in a live stream. Maybe. I don't want to get hit with copyright or anything. So maybe we'll I don't know. Maybe I'll take a look at it. Maybe I'll do it in chunks. Rob, yes, thanks for hopping on. Have a good time at the gym. Twitch, I've never done Twitch. I'll have to look into it. I will say I've been working on collabs with a few, particularly BTS focused creators. So be on the lookout for that. We'll be announcing them. I have been slacking in getting back to them because of my schedule. So I'm hoping to get back to them this week and find a time to do it. We've got some great, really fun things planned. So there will be some more BTS content coming, and we'll see what else is on the way. Some covers, some analyses, some scene breakdowns. We're going to do a whole thing. It's going to be really, really fun. So just keep your eyes posted. I'm going to say the thing that I never say on this channel. Make sure you liked and subscribed and you got the bell clicked. That's the only time you're going to hear me say it, probably. So, just because I'm coming back, I did a whole video on the algorithm. It's not going to be in my favor. So if you see a video, click it, watch it, share it if you want to. If you don't, it's your life. Live it how you want to. I'll support you either way because you are more than likely a good person. I tend to think most people are. So, keep your eyes open for that. But yeah, just, keep your eyes open, check in on the channel. Again, it might be inconsistent because, maybe I'm filming, maybe I'm doing theater or something like that. Yes, I want to do dance practice videos. I particularly want to do a reaction to the dance practices of Fire and Dope because the dances, especially in Fire. Rob, you should go to minute 2:33 of the Fire music video and look at that. Look at the choreography because it is so good. It is so good. Anyway, I'm gonna hop off here, but thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for just hanging out. Yes, fix your posture. Fix your posture. Drink some water. I wore one of my favorite shirts today, which is "Don't give up, you little piece of trash." So that's some nice motivational messaging. Even when you feel like a piece of trash, you aren't one. Just don't give up and drink lots of water and fix your posture. And until next time, be well. Thanks for hanging out. New videos on the way soon. Have a great day.